let's go back to the guitar and look at the second principle. Now what follows here is the principle that we're going to most commonly use in embellishing and building interesting jazz lines. And this is the idea that we can lead to any chord with its own dominant. So if we've got C minor first, the dominant of C is the chord built on the 5th degree, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or G. And so we know G7, we've been dealing with that for much of this tune, goes to C. Well, we can play that in chords, we can also play it in lines. So if we're starting the song, we might lead into the beginning of the song with G7, C. And if we're sitting on C minor for a while, we might go back and forth between G7 and C as much as we want, just so long as we end up at our target chord, which is C minor. Now, as we move our ship on to F minor, we need to get there. And we're going to get there using the dominant of F minor. So F minor, F, G, A flat, B flat, C. It's C7. You're going to find a lot of these very common and repeating chords here. So G7 goes to C minor. C minor becomes C7, and that leads to F minor. Okay. Our next chord is D half diminished. The 5 of D is A, so we're going to go A7, D half diminished. Next chord is G7, so we're going to go D7 to G7. G, A, B, C, D, yeah. 5 is D, D7 to G7. And then G7 to C minor. The first chord of our bridge is E flat minor. The 5 of E flat minor is B flat 7. So from C minor, we'll go B flat 7, E flat minor, E flat 7 to A flat 7. The 5 of A flat is E flat 7. And then A flat 7 to D flat major. If we're sitting on D flat major too long, we can go back to A flat 7 and back to D flat because we're leading to D flat with its dominant, which is A flat. And now, heading back home, D half diminished, we're going to lead with an A7, the 5 of D, and then D7 to G7, and G7 to C minor. So we've taken each chord and led to it with its own dominant, and that's going to create some spice for us. This is a particularly powerful principle because every time we're sitting on a one-chord vamp and we're getting bored, if we're playing, you know, that interminable funk jam session on C minor, or jazz jam on C minor, or bossa nova or samba on C minor, well, we can always throw in the 5 chord. And that gives us a chance to create some movement, some variety, and not just boring ourselves and our listeners to death with the same old notes and arpeggios.